We got a crazy looking picture of her, so that's what works. That's what matters. This lady is so fucking stuck up. So she wants to brag about being a single mom. Well, how much of a mom are you really? She also wanted to complain that she got all prettied up for the date and the guy didn't show up. Well, listen to her speak. I wouldn't fucking show up either. If I asked a woman out on a date and she said yes and then started acting like this lady, I'd go the other fucking way. Do guys get stood up? Shit, how many of you women give dudes bogus numbers just to be assholes? You think it's fucking funny? It's not funny. Just say no. Men won't take no for an answer. Really? You're just gonna blame all men. It's always men's fault. Men are evil, blah, blah, blah. Well, then why the fuck are you trying to date? If men are such horrible monsters, why try to date? Then this lady, like most women in this fucking country, wants to talk about how good looking she is, how cute she looks. She goes, not good looking for a mom, or not cute for a mom, not cute for a 30-year-old. I just look cute. Need money for a babysitter. Well, lots of men pay for babysitters too. The thing is, it's her shitty fucking attitude that runs people off. Now, those of you who want to say, Sean, it's your shitty attitude that runs people off. No, it ain't. The fact that I was good to people and the fact that I have a penis are what runs people off. The fact that I'm an asshole to those sorry, having problems pronouncing and enunciating the words properly. This lady wanted to get pissed off about the fact that she thought she was better looking than everybody. Blonde hair, blue eyes. Yes, we owe it to her to show up for a date, even if she's a shitty person who's fucking psycho. Somebody who's completely infatuated with her looks. There's a lot of women who seem to believe that because they took 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever to get ready for a date, that there are certain things that a man owes her because she spent that time. One woman, a lesbian, she killed herself. Well, she had someone else do it for her. Her name is Nora Vincent. Between this blonde lady and Nora Vincent, at least Nora Vincent was a human being. Of course, you look at her compared to this crazy lady here. One of them is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed nut job like Leslie Snell. Yeah, if you're a female, it's okay to destroy an innocent man's life. Especially if you have a position of power to do it with, like Scott DaCosta, Leslie Snell. Did you know that lesbian relationships are the most violent in America? You are more likely to get into a violent altercation as a female against another female because both of you are taught what? Oh, you're taught the rules of dating a man. It's never okay for a man to hit you, but it is okay for you to hit a man once. And some of you think that resets every 30 seconds. Now, when you get two women with that sexist expectation and they don't register in their head, you're dating a woman. A lot of women like to sell themselves, oh, well, I spent hours getting ready, so he owes me to buy dinner because I spent hours getting ready. Are you trying to insinuate that men don't have to get ready? Are you trying to insinuate that that looks thing is the most important? Nora Talked about going on dates as a man with women. Going on dates dressed as a man. Now, of course, Nora, today, there's several states that if she was alive in today, she'd be in trouble for dressing like a man. She would get in trouble. There are now laws against it in places. I'll wear a dress. I'll support LGBT. But I'm not going to support looks. This woman felt entitled. Because of her looks, she felt entitled. She went to a bar, and her daycare lady knew that she was stood up and bought her drinks and bought her dinner. And other men who were around bought her drinks and offered her drinks. And even with all that free shit the guys don't get on a date, even when stood up, unless he's extremely good looking. Now, what she wanted was an acknowledgement of her looks. See, we have taught women in America that the value placed on them is based on their looks. We've done the same thing with men. Your value is based on the sexual wants of the opposite gender. Well, I'm not good looking. I don't have to be. I'm not dating none of y'all. Now you get to hear how, obviously, between men and women are the obviously more sexist of the two. Also, the more geared towards looks. Men tend to be geared towards function. Functional work boots. Functional Carhartt. Functional Dickies. Those are work clothes for those of you who have never worked a day in your life. For those of you who think sitting in an office and making things suck for all of the men around you is work. It's not. For the most part, when it comes down to job site bullshit, if there's women on the job site, you can be pretty reasonably rested assured that the drama was started by the women on the job site. Now, that is not always true. I have known women who worked construction for 20 or more years, who were very good at what they did, went to work every day, and avoided the drama. But not very many and not very often. Men have to be afraid to look in the direction of a woman like the nut job who's on the front of this. They have to be afraid to look her direction because she might get fucking butthurt and paranoid and fucking stupid. Personally, I don't think this woman should be allowed to have her kids. Why is that? Because she's going to teach them the same thing we teach every other woman in America. It's okay for a woman to be superficial. And a man does not matter. It doesn't matter that he's got emotions. Only yours matter. Doesn't matter if he's a good person or if life happened. She got stood up for a date. Ooh. What I got stood up for was a lot worse. That's because when men are fucking abused by women like this, who feel they are entitled, people will go along with it because she's cute. No, she's fucking not. She's got a 5 head. She even mentions having a 5 head or a big forehead. I have a bigger forehead than she does. Then we're told that, oh, well, it doesn't matter because most men are bald anyway. No, we're not, first of all. And second of all, you treat bald men like shit. And then you want to brag about your free shit, complain that somebody didn't show up. Meanwhile, you're a fucking psycho. You're nuttier than fucking squirrel turds. Now, Nora, she's not a pretty blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman, is she? No, matter of fact, now she's a corpse. But even as a lesbian who was living, she wasn't good looking. There's a lot of men out here who are out here because they're not good looking. No woman wanted them. No woman worked together with them. It was always just them. Then we got women like Candace Bondurant. She's a fucking hippo. Oh my God, Sean, you can't say that. It's not politically correct. Who gives a fuck? She was with a guy named James, right? She wants to talk about how horrible James is, and how horribly violent he is. Well, she's got 2 kids with him. That's an awful lot of time to be with somebody who's abusive. Long enough to have 2 kids. Candace Bondurant, like everyone in America, has been taught that all she has to do is tell the right lie, and we're expected to do as she wants. Oh, my kids, my kids, my kids. Do you care about a man's kids? Do you? Really? It doesn't seem like you do. A lot of people wanted to play head games. Then they wanted to dip out and use the excuse that somebody threatened their kids. Well, maybe you should have turned it in, you dumb son of a bitch. God damn, where's something I can blow my fucking nose on? Oh. I get sick of being treated like I'm a bad person because of my looks. How many men and women have made fun of my looks through all this? Quite a few. Primarily women. But a lot of guys get on and fucking harass me too. Most of the accounts, I can't tell if it's a male or a female. I just know they're shitty fucking people. Meanwhile, none of you take it fucking seriously. Not a goddamn one of you. You don't take it seriously when a man is fucking abused. You make any excuse to look the other way. Or it's the man's fault, the man's fault, the man's fault. Take a look at Caitlin Tatum. That's not a man's fault. She's a lazy piece of shit who never gave a fuck. Well, that's one of the things about y'all and your homeless friends. We're not really your friends. We're your fucking charity case. We're your bragging rights. Oh my God, I helped out this one hobo once. Oh my God, really? This woman was pissed off because, well, she paid to go out on this date, right? But she didn't have the money to pay for her own food or her own fucking drinks. Other people, including her daycare lady, paid for her to get drunk and to have food. So really, what was she expecting from this man? Meanwhile, Nora, who's a lesbian, was talking about how, you know, dating a woman, it's a lot different. Because as 2 women, you know, I always thought if you spend all that time getting dressed up, 2 or 3 hours to get ready to go on a date, you know, that's the thing, is that the man is paying for you to get prettied up, you know, like you've done your part, you spent hours getting ready. So yeah, he owes it to you to cut the check. But then she was explaining that with women, it's different. Like one lady that was dating other women just to test the field. Found out she was bisexual and decided she was going to go out and date women, and she's been dating women for 2 years. And she talks about how she went out on a date with a woman who had asked her out, and that she had paid the bill. The lady who had asked her out didn't look at the check, didn't offer to pay the check, didn't say thank you, and she paid the check. It was an expectation that the female that she asked out would pay for the meal, even if you asked her out. So, of course, she didn't want to date that woman. I mean, obviously, that's just going to be expensive. I've got a lot of women who get on TikTok and Twitter and Facebook and all that, and because of their looks, people will listen to them. People will get on there and like the comments or love the comments or love the pictures, and it is very much a popularity contest. I know married women who will go to the bar with their husbands in their mid-30s and get jealous that a single 20-year-old woman is getting attention. Like, hey, lady, you're married. Why do you care if other men are giving her attention? She's still on the market. You're not. And now for Nora, she talks about how, well, just like this other lady, you kind of figure since you did all that time making yourself prettier than you really are, that he owes it to you to buy dinner. But what happens when you've got two women who both spent hours getting dressed up and getting pretty and going on a date? So who has to pay then? I mean, you were telling yourself because you spent hours getting ready that he has to pay for your meal. But now you're with a woman who spent hours getting ready, and she's expecting you to pay for her meal anyway. Even though you spent those hours getting dressed up all nice and pretty, she still has expectations. Many of the lesbians I know won't date women. I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. Well, I'm attracted to women. I just don't like their attitude. Well, all right. So really, you're only attracted to women physically. Is that what you're saying? No, I have a mental connection. A mental connection. A lot of the lesbians that I know only get along when they're having sex. There's also a lot of lesbians that I know that are not good looking. There's also a lot of good-looking women I know that I would rather hang out with a man-hating lesbian than hang out with a blonde-haired, blue-eyed idiot. Many of my LGBT friends are not friends with me anymore because I called them out. Not for being LGBT, but for being racist, being sexist, being classist, and being selfish. Every friend I ever had showed me that the truth doesn't matter. Only popularity does. What do other people think? That's what you care about. And then you tell me I shouldn't care what other people think. Well, I'm being assaulted and you're not. Then we get the biggest gripe out of these women is how much time they spent to make themselves look like a fucking clown. Now, why do I say that? Because at the start of the video that I took this picture off of, yes, there are women who are calling men clowns. Yeah, I'm not going to fucking waste my time with you. Are you out of your fucking mind? Also, why the fuck are you going to a bar? Who are you going to pick up at a bar? A drunk. That's what you're going to pick up at a bar. And if you wake up in the morning and he's not as good looking as you remember him, The night before, well, he might be going to prison because you just realized that you had sex with somebody who's ugly and you're ashamed of yourself. So it's him who's going to pay the price. We've got way too many women today who have realized that all they have to do is pretend that a man might do something wrong after they do something completely fucked to him and try to destroy his life. Holy hell. I don't want to be around men or women. Men are decent to hang out with, decent to work with. But once you put a drama monger on there, you pretty much fuck over the whole crew. Most of the work crews that I was on where they hired women, those women didn't last 2 days. One woman lasted 3 days before she was a no-call, no-show. Most women are not cut out for construction. It's a mental thing, not a physical thing. You tell yourself you shouldn't have to do manual labor because you're a woman. You shouldn't have to contribute because you're a woman. Being cute is good enough. You should get everything handed to you for free because you're cute, you're cute, you're cute. And that's the thing that this single mother wanted to push the whole time. I'm cute. I look cute. I'm cute. I'm cute. There's nothing fucking cute about you. Jamie Curtis, if you want to burrow your way into her soul, just tell her she's pretty. For Jamie Curtis, that's nostalgia. Her mom used to tell her she was pretty. Being pretty is the best compliment that Jamie Curtis could get because she's pretty. She also remembers before she had her braces, when she had big old hippo teeth. Big fat gap between her teeth. Like probably one of the fattest gaps that you're going to see on a person. Huge. Big old buck teeth. But then she got braces, and instead of being the ugly girl, now that she had a straight smile, she was pretty. And she never stopped being a selfish person as a result. Because she was pretty, she thought it was okay for her to manipulate people. That this is somehow, her being shitty to men like that, is the prize that she gets for being born ugly. No, that doesn't make it okay. I was good to Jamie even when she was ugly, even when she had that big old gap between her teeth, before she ever got her braces. But afterwards, men became a game, just entertainment to her, and there's a lot of idiots in her life who fall for that shit. There's also a lot of those idiots who wisened up and got sick of her shit. When a woman doesn't get what she wants right when she wants it, we're all expected to feel sorry for her and drop everything that we're doing to make her fucking happy. Now, how many times have you women stood men up for dates? Is it okay for a man to act like this woman did? There's a reason I don't ask women out. One of my friends said to me, Sean, do you want to have sex with that girl? I said, no. He said, well, why the fuck would you ask her out? Good point. If she's not worth a fuck, don't ask her out. When we talk about the difference between men and women, it comes down to the fact that women are trained and taught to be the most superficial creatures on the planet. We specifically teach women that it's okay to be like that. Well, no, I don't want to do anything for women or men. If you can't help a brother out, but you'll help to destroy his life because some woman didn't get laid, or somebody didn't buy her drinks, or somebody didn't give her the right compliment about how pretty she is, you guys will destroy that man's life. Why is that? Because you're fucking idiots. You've got to be the one to be confident, right? You got to walk across that room and ask that woman out, knowing that you'll probably be rejected. You're not Josh Martindale. You're not Sean Jepsen. Women aren't going to throw themselves at you like $2 hookers. Oh, these women get themselves all prettied up and dolled up and then complain that he's not giving her enough attention for as pretty as she looks. Well, how about your fucking attitude, bitch? You wonder where my attitude comes from? It comes from years of being told what I owe women because I have a mutilated penis. I'm told that I should go over to foreign countries and shoot foreign people because female genitalias are being mutilated in other countries. Meanwhile, most boys in this country have their genitalia mutilated for her pleasure. That's right, for her pleasure, her sexual pleasure later in life. You mutilate infant boys in this country. Then you want us to do something about girls getting mutilated? Having their genitalia mutilated? What the fuck is wrong with you? Consent. I never consented to having my penis mutilated for your pleasure, ladies. How fucking pretty you are makes no fucking difference when you are an entitled fucking cunt. And your poor kids, I hope that you don't have any boys. Holy shit, superficial fucking pieces of... nasty. You also get to see how when a man is being abused, even with witnesses, many witnesses, they just look the other way. Police, look the other way. Go fuck yourselves. We don't owe you shit. Get off your ass. You want to complain that you get paid less than men? Work as many overtime hours then. Men work on average 7 hours more per week. On average. Times 52 weeks. How many extra hours is that men work per year? For what, less than a $4,000 difference? Men are getting fucked. If we took away the overtime hours that men work and the extra pay from that, they'd be making $1,000 less a year than a woman. So women don't get to complain about the wage gap because it doesn't fucking exist. It doesn't exist. Men work harder and longer hours on average. Now, if you're that one woman out there who's honestly able to say, hey, I work 14 hours a day. Well, thank you. Thank you for actually working that many hours. I bet you get paid more. Unless you're an immigrant in Nebraska, in which case you're probably working for less than minimum wage and glad to have it. While the racist Nebraska farmer that you work for goes around and complains about how Mexicans are destroying everything. Between men and women, women are the far more superficial of the two here in the United States. We've taught these girls that if they pretty themselves up, we owe them things. And if we don't give them what they feel they are owed, then of course they'll try to destroy our lives. When they stalk us, they get help. Lucky for me, two of my stalkers nobody gave a shit about. Kristen Kepler nobody gave a shit about because she was four-eyed and massive. She wore glasses and she was a huge woman. So when she was stalking me, yeah, her friends and family didn't get involved. The closest that her friends and family got involved was her sister telling me, hey, could you help us out? Kristen's kind of crazy over you. She's got a shrine to you in her locker and a fucking purse full of the news articles that you wrote for the Buffalo Chips. So, yeah, if you could help out some. I didn't know what to do. My second stalker, Brianna Hernandez Cordona. Lots of people tried to get rid of her, not just me. She was underage and fucking creeping on an old dude. Me. No, I'm not fucking okay with that. My third stalker was Natalie Bollinger. Now, unlike Kristen Kepler, Natalie Bollinger was skinny and pretty. Brianna Hernandez Cordona was skinny and pretty and nuttier than fucking squirrel turds. But people didn't go out of their way to make my life a living hell over Brianna Hernandez Cordona. The only person who really made my life hell over Brianna Hernandez Cordona was Brianna Hernandez Cordona, because she wouldn't take no for a fucking answer. Why does no only mean no if it's a man? Why is it that we allow women who are told no to destroy a man's life because she couldn't take no for an answer? And then we let her pretend like that's how all men are. Well, that's disgusting. You talk about how superficial men are, and then you talk about how he didn't show up to your date, and you got a bunch of superficial shit that wasn't necessary. Okay, you went to the bar to get drunk. Men bought you free drinks. Your daycare lady bought you dinner. You talk about how you had to pay for childcare. You know, there's single daddies out there got to do the same goddamn thing. This guy Nick, who's staying with Vicky Rain, he's not a bad-looking feller. He's got good physique. He works out, goes to the YMCA. Yep, he's definitely the kind of guy that women go for. Sure, he's not quite as good looking as Sean Jefferson, or not as good looking as Joshua Martindale, but he doesn't look like me. He's also got the youth about him. Now, how many women have we had to listen to showing how superficial that they really are? Because they've been taught to be. Taught to be. There's not much more disgusting to me. Jamie's superficial as all fuck, and she decided to play head games and thought it was fine. Todd Rust thought, well, you know, fuck it, who cares what Todd Rust thinks, right? Todd Rust is the same useless son of a bitch who, well, basically he just had a big crush on Jamie, and he spent almost his entire inheritance getting Jamie drunk and her friends so he could try to fuck them. And then he wants to talk about the Jesus. Well, I got many of people in his family talking about his Jesus, about what a fake Christian he is. Maybe he should date this blonde-haired, blue-eyed lady. The thing is, Todd is a behemoth of a man. I'm not talking about muscles. I'm talking about fat. Both of the women that, well, all of the women that he's married in his lifetime have been large women. He's not attractive. He's physically attractive in the face to some degree, but he's also fake as fuck. He was also really into spending money on underage people getting drunk. Dallas Richmond is recorded talking about that. Yeah, these are your Chapel city official type folks. We live in a disgusting world. And I think it's time for you guys to stop expecting men who are unattractive to give you free shit. You can pretend all you want that you're attracted to me. But I'm not fucking retarded. When a woman pretends she's attracted to me, 100% of the time, for a guy like me, it's because she wants something. For example, Nicole Trujillo, she wasn't really attracted to me. She just thought that I was a pushover and I'd let her fuck me up the asshole with a carrot. No, that's sexual assault. And when she tried, that was the end of it. When she tried to rape me with a carrot, yeah, never again. I don't give a fuck who you are. Sexual assault is not fucking okay.